So Lewis, tell me, what is Slimecoin?
Slimecoin.io is an IO game hub where every map has free coins waiting to be eaten. We've got Season 1 live now with 30% of supply waiting to be distributed to players directly through our games.
All right, Lewis, awesome to have you here. I'm really excited to be chatting to you today. Founder, CEO of Supersize and launching the new game Slimecoin, which we are going to talk about today. Do you want to just kick it off and tell me a little bit about Slimecoin and why everyone should be playing it?
For sure, yeah. Thanks. Excited to be here. So Slimecoin is the new product from the game studio Supersize, and we have launched this on-chain DGen IO games powered by MagicBlock, which we're really excited about. The first one is Blob Battle, which is out now, and the exciting part is that players could eat the coins directly in the games. And so the first game is inspired by Agario, if anyone's familiar with that game, but we're kind of trying to bring that back with the excitement of coins, and the distribution is happening directly in the game. So you can come to slimecoin.io, activate your vault to set up an account, and then start eating the coins directly in the game. They'll start accumulating in your vault, and you can withdraw them instantly, all powered by MagicBlock's tech. It's all fully on chain, all secure, all instant. And yeah, we're really excited it's out now and people can start accumulating their coins.
That's super exciting. So the game is live to play now. How do people play it?
You can go to Slimecoin.io and you can test it out. You don't even need to make an account. You can just hit play and see what we're talking about. It won't actually send you your coins unless you activate your vault, but you basically spawn as a blob, and all these coins are free food pellets, free mass pellets lying on the map. So the coins are literally there on chain waiting to be eaten. As you eat the coins on the map, your blob will grow in size, and then you can also eat other players, which are also blobs, so long as they're smaller than you. And when you do, you'll get the coins that they've eaten. So you can grow up to a ton of coins and then cash out whenever you feel like it.
Incredible. How does that work in practice? If we take it back a second, Slimecoin is fully on chain, right?
Importantly, the coin is on chain, and then the games, every single part of the game is on chain and serverless. So even though it's happening in real time, the transactions are happening on the Ephemeral Rollup, and they're happening instantly. And so every single part of the game is fully on chain.
Can you tell me why building a fully on chain game was important to you? Obviously, it could have been a lot easier if you had decided to use centralized servers.
When you're building it fully on chain, there's completely no servers. We're building it to be uncheatable. So we're eliminating that bottleneck in compliance, right? Because we're setting it to be trustless from the beginning. We set accounts, our accounts are non-custodial. They're owned by the users, which is a really important step, right? We are not controlling any of the users' funds. It's an underrated and big step towards compliance with regard to real money gaming. And that's the foundation that Slimecoin is built on. We're built on a custom-built real money gaming stack that can operate in real time and is completely trustless. So it's operating fully on chain, and it enables crazy things that you would not be able to do. For example, users can create their own games. So anyone can create their own Slimecoin game for any of the IO games that we launch. The entire game is composable, and that's only possible because we built it fully on chain. You can build out a whole ecosystem around this game. Those are really unique things that are only possible because of the foundation that we set that you guys enabled.
Great. That's a really good segue, actually, because that was going to be my next question. What, with all of that said, what led you to MagicBlock and how Ephemeral Rollups are powering Slimecoin?
Real money IO games built fully on chain are not possible without ephemeral rollups because of latency. We need to operate in an extremely low latency environment, so we need to operate on the ephemeral rollup. That enables us to create a real-time game. Otherwise, it wouldn't be possible, and we would run into all the issues you face when you publish a game off-chain. And instead of building a mountain of tech debt for ourselves by building it off-chain, we build a really strong foundation and then sort of light the spark to get it going. And that's what I sort of think of. That is only possible because it's built on-chain. Because it has to transact real value. If it was built off-chain, scaling it becomes a real burden. Whereas when you build it fully on-chain, scaling it is really natural for the real money IO games that we're building. So it was really only possible building it on MagicBlock, and we really wanted people to play directly with Solana, right? So we want to tap into the liquidity on Solana. We want to launch Slimecoin on Solana. So that's important, and MagicBlock's the only way we could do that. I mean, the only way we could get real-time transactions while also having the coin be on Solana is using you guys.
Can you tell me a little bit more about why it's important to have built on Solana?
Well, I think aside from just the liquidity being there, like that's where people are building experimental other projects that you can integrate with. Like by being directly on Solana, it's the most seamless way we can tap into that and allow them to utilize the coin directly into the game. If we were built on a bridge, they would need to bridge the funds somewhere, right? But because we're directly on Solana, can tap into that liquidity, the launch on Heaven, and then the token integration with the game, it was done in like 2 hours.
Thank you. That was really helpful to understand. Can you maybe now walk us through exactly how Slimecoin uses ephemeral rollups, or like just kind of where in the back end ephemeral rollups are being delegated and undelegated, and how that happens?
Yeah. So the entire game lives on the ephemeral rollup. When you click play, you're clicking play and you're operating now a player component which lives on one of the ephemeral rollups. And when you're sending transactions, you're changing the data that pertains to that player component on that ephemeral rollup. So if you're moving around the map, maybe your X and Y position are changing as you're moving around. All that data is inside the ephemeral rollup. Even once you finish playing, that data still lives inside of the ephemeral rollup, but what happens is your balance changes. So you exit with more coins, your balance goes up. Now, let's say you want to withdraw, that balance gets committed from the ephemeral rollup to mainnet. And that gives you the ability to withdraw. Then you withdraw those funds. You redelegate that balance to the ephemeral rollup where you want to play. And now everything works seamlessly. You can play. And then once you want to withdraw or deposit again, then you'll have to undelegate and commit the state back to mainnet. But so long as you're in the ephemeral, everything is operating seamlessly.
Okay, so if I was playing Slimecoin and I wanted to play, say, like 5 games in a row, I'm not withdrawing from my wallet in that time. That whole time, I'm in the ephemeral rollup. Is that
Yep.
correct?
Yep.
Awesome. And do I, as a player, what am I seeing? Like, am I seeing that I'm delegating and undelegating, or what's the experience from a
No,
player point of view?
you're just seeing that you're playing. I mean, let's say you're playing the game, you just log in, you go, click blob battle and click play. You just start playing. When you finish, it'll show you your payout. You go back to the main screen. You should see your balance go up by whatever your payout was, but you can then just click play again, just like a normal video game. You don't have to worry about the undelegating and redelegating unless you're going to your profile section to go do a deposit or withdraw, because that's when we need to commit the state back to mainnet.
Yeah, incredible. That's really cool. And I know you touched on the vault before. So can you maybe explain how that comes into play with the way that the player experiences in the ephemeral rollup?
I mean, the way the vault comes into play is it's part of how we make it as invisible as possible, as seamless as possible for players to go. So most of our recent updates have been centered around trying to make the game loop as seamless as possible. The central game loop where you click play, you move around the map, you eat tokens, you cash out, you go back to the main screen, you get to click play again. We want that to be as fluid as possible. I mean, it's the most important part, getting players to go again and again through that game loop as they collect coins. It's the heart of any game, and it needs to be seamless. And so this vault is the central component behind making that happen. I think that's like what MagicBlock really powers for us, is making what happens behind the scenes really powerful so that what happens for the user is as simple and as fast as possible. So that's what the vault has allowed us to capitalize on as maximally as possible.
Awesome. Okay. For a developer that is thinking about building a fully on-chain game, maybe they feel a bit intimidated by it, or yeah, just feel a bit overwhelmed. Like, what would your advice be?
Well, I understand that it's intimidating. I think it's going to be like a long haul. It's like a difficult project to build a fully on-chain game, and you really have to sort of believe in what you're doing. But it's a very rewarding thing to build a fully on-chain game. I think especially like building it on Solana because of what I was talking about before with the foundations that it sets for the future of your game. So if you really have a plan for the longevity of your game and you want to see your game thrive and you want to build towards your game over years, not just like release it in a month, I think it sets a great foundation for what you're going to do. You don't need to constantly be managing servers, which is a great upside for a developer, but just the foundations are much stronger. Maybe there's an interesting financial mechanism you want to build into the game that's only possible and secure if you build it fully on chain, right? I think that makes a lot of sense, but still, the core game loop, if it's not already existing, it's a difficult process. It probably makes sense to test it off chain, right? So
Okay, really helpful. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, Lewis, tell me, what is Slimecoin?
Slimecoin.io is an IO game hub where every map has free coins waiting to be eaten. We've got Season 1 live now with 30% of supply waiting to be distributed to players directly through our games.
Awesome. That's really exciting. I have noticed on slimecoin.io that there is another game, Snake Battle, that's coming soon. Can you tell us anything about that?
Yeah, we're really excited for that. We have the complete backend done, and it should be coming in 2 weeks. And we're excited to see players battling, eating coins in there too.
Thank you so much, Lewis. Really appreciate your time. Super excited for everyone to go out and play Slimecoin, and we'll be looking forward to Snake Battle coming soon. Is there anything finally you want to say?
No, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, I think that's it.